What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from, well, dark and cold, but will be sunny later, Shanghai. Folks, that's right. We're alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MVs are having a fantastic one because we are in Shanghai, in the heartland of the People's Republic of China. That's right, folks. We are live. We're alive. We're out here in Shanghai, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic one. Am I hungover? No. Hold on. Let me see. Is that better? I want to make it like a little bit. There. This is maybe better. Anyway, we're live, we're alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is, well, in Pacific time in Los Angeles, California, today is actually, oh, my hair is so crazy. I just took a shower. In Los Angeles, California, today is 11/12/2025. 1:44 p.m. I'm actually very late. Lemon Bro, your haters are going wild. What is happening? I haven't been able to pay attention to what my haters are saying. I think it's low-key kind of the Chinese firewall has been good for my brain, I guess, because I don't really get to see it. I don't really get to see what the haters are saying. Anyway, it's happy birthday, Austin. It's Austin's birthday. But ladies and gentlemen, we're live, we're alive, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic one. It is 11:44 p.m. here in Shanghai on the 12th of November. It's Wednesday, November 12th. Or no, sorry, not here. That's fuck. In California, it's 11:45. Or hold on. I'm not doing all right. I'm going to do it. Oh my God. Hold on. It is 1:45 p.m. in Los Angeles, California, and it's technically November 12th, 2025 in California. Here in Shanghai, it is 58 degrees, mostly clear, and it is 5:45 a.m. in Shanghai. 5:45 a.m., and it's actually Thursday. So we're in the future, as you guys know. I'm in the future, not hungover. No, man, this is not a hangover. Do you not understand? Do you not understand what this is? It's not a hangover. It's the fact that I did a 10-hour live stream yesterday after, traveling by high-speed rail for 6 hours, another hour in the car, getting to a place where we had dinner, which was a very special place. And this is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news, and basically that's what I'm doing right now. Okay? But going to dinner and then crawling into bed, checking into this hotel that we're staying at, and basically crawling into bed and passing out instantly, only to wake up and do it all over again. And the reason why I'm late is because I woke up at 3 a.m. and I kind of went back to sleep. I'm gonna be honest. I went to sleep at 10, woke up at 3 a.m., went back to sleep, showered, had to, do everything, shit, shower, didn't shave, but had to do all this stuff to get the stream set up. And basically it was a difficult endeavor, okay? Not the easiest thing to do. For the chatters that don't know, okay? I know a lot of you think like, oh man, I'm the most fortunate person on the planet, 100%. I was overlooking the beautiful river in this like incredible rooftop where this incredible rooftop that is, I think, not accessible to the public normally, and it's just mostly for foreign dignitaries at the Peace Hotel. And I was looking at it. I was looking at all the people near the riverside having fun, and I was thinking like, damn, dude, I am so goddamn fortunate. I'm one of the luckiest motherfuckers on the planet. I looked at Will. I was like, dude, come on. Like, look at us. Look at where we're at. Did you ever think that we'd be here? I'm sad I missed you by 30 minutes last night by the Bund sightseeing platform, and now I'm leaving for Beijing today. There are a lot of Hasanabi heads, by the way. Oh my God. Okay, couple things. Number one, the Chinese stream sniper was actually a fan, and they were not trying to be weird. They were just trying to be kind by ordering food for me. So that's number one. And the reason why we know is because the team that I'm here with called them because they have their phone number on it. Because in China, everything is just like logged and connected. So they called the person, and the person was like, "Oh, I'm just a fan. I just wanted to make sure that like a Chinese fan that wanted to make sure that I got fed." And then two, it's a cultural difference, I guess. The second thing is there was another Chinese fan that actually got on the train. This is after I had ended the broadcast. There was a Chinese Hasanabi head that was on the train, and he got on the train specifically to give me some stuff, some very cool shit. I'm gonna show you guys in a second. But yeah, he was from Nanjing, and he wanted me to go there. He wanted me to visit next time. Did you see the Chinese bridge that pissed on the trees collapsed in a landslide? No, dude, that's not the same bridge. No, that's so funny though that you got anti-China rage baited. No, there was a landslide that took place in a totally separate place, in a relatively new bridge that was built, and the landslide cooked the bridge. Like it was like the mountain collapsing on the bridge, at least from what I saw. The piss bridge is still there. It's still very much in operation. Okay, we got new nicknames for all of the crew. We got new Chinese nicknames for all the crew. Okay. Bitty News. New nicknames for Will and Austin drop. Will, the unrestrained long hair bro. Austin, cold resistance bro. Caroline is named Lady Guan because she keeps mentioning her ancestry. Okay, so they're not calling Will the White Dragon anymore. That's good. That's definitely a noticeable upgrade. I'm not gonna lie, the White Dragon one was a little scaring me a little bit. But that's cool. Unrestrained long hair bro is funny. White Dragon goes hard? Yeah, in the clans meet. Anyway. Wait, Hideo Kojima? Hideo Kojima had to delete a photo and is under trouble? Is in trouble with the Turkish. This clip got 160,000 views. What is this? Will you guys be able to come to us or no?
No, we can't.
Oh, okay. Wait, did he take my luggage? Oh, okay, perfect. All right.
Also, Irene said to not switch, get your car seat because...
Yeah. But I don't even know what my seat is. Do you know?
We're about to find out. She's about to tell us.
Oh, okay.
Where's Austin?
Oh, this is not a clip. This is 46 minutes. This is like the full experience. Hasanabi, a top American blogger. My first hand experience traveling in Shanghai by high-speed rail. Oh, I was looking at this like I thought it was a clip. Damn. Regarding ordering takeout, I feel the social atmosphere really varies greatly. We have a stronger sense of collectivism, especially the older generation who maintain very close social distancing. Now everyone is more mindful to their individual needs, and this behavior is indeed quite annoying. However, seeing the different attitudes towards the restaurant owner who receives many takeout orders, I hope we can all find common ground. And oh, they're talking about how like the whole ordering takeout thing might have been just for the sake of the show. Later, someone even gave him a pack of baby diapers, which is purely for fun or a prank. Oh, they wrote understanding the spirit of the fourth plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee and taking responsibility. The Party Committee of Wuhan Railway Bureau Group. That's the newspaper. They just wrote. They copy pasted the entire newspaper article from the People's Railway. They translated it. That's cool. Also, we got more Bilibili comments in here, but American blogger Hasanabi at a rally in Washington. He stood in support of Palestine and shouted for Palestinian freedom. Check out this about the guy. Impromptu speech. At that level, you could directly run for that kind of Forensic Brother One, director of the American Museum. He's better than the curator, much better than the curator. I don't know what this is. Where are these comments coming from? They actually went on CGTN. It's impressive. Enough said. I'm super handsome, ladies. Go for it. As expected of the top internet celebrity in the U.S.'s witness section, and with an interview endorsed by CGTN, I hope he comes to China for a good trip. And lets his live stream viewers learn more about China's development and current situation. Even if the show isn't as entertaining as Hyperthyroidism Bros, a popular internet personality, he shouldn't be talking about coming back to the U.S. to make money, open a TV station, and then take down the Republican Party. Curator is Taiwan's Joe Rogan, recently went from anti-China to pro-China. Oh. God, I wish the American comment sections looked like that. No, that's what's really interesting about Chinese netizens is that there are, at least maybe on Bilibili, I don't know, it's like platform to platform. Oh, CGTN previewed the interview.
To show.
Oh, nice. CGTN posted a preview of San's interview with Jingjing Li Jingjing. Shanghai's great. Spent 35 days for work. Excited to see you explore it. Dude, I'm going to be honest. As soon as we landed, okay, here's a couple things. Number one, Beijing, very straightforward. Okay. Beijing is probably the most like straightforward and most strict environment that we were in and that we are going to be in. Okay. Because as soon as we landed, because high-speed rail is like a plane. Okay. So yes. As soon as we arrived in Shanghai, you could see the vibes were different, okay? And I've been telling this to Will as well from the start. I was like, listen, brother, trust me, okay? Just trust me. The experience is going to be dramatically different once we get to Shanghai. Beijing is like it's very strict. It's the capital. It's political. The entire party is there. You know, Xi Jinping is there. There's a lot of history there. It's just like, it's like DC on steroids, right? Shanghai, on the other hand, and all these other cities that we're going to go to are like where a lot of people live, and they're very fun. They're much less strict. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to be like worried about anything. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about like offending people or whatever. So, and there's also more things to do that are just not, you know, going to the Forbidden City or, you know, going to different places like that. Lore breach containment. What is this? Yeah. Shanghai is basically New York City. It's basically New York City. It's incredible, and you could feel it. Like as soon as we arrived at the train station, you could feel the vibes were different than Beijing. Like Beijing is just, you know, something in the area. It's very. Shanghai also has a much longer history of being like one of the most developed cities in China as well. Did you see this TikTok from a chatter who's sad they thought you were a hater? The VPN I use routes me back to Hong Kong, and unfortunately Hong Kong TikTok doesn't operate, so I can't see the TikToks. But basically, what is the cyberpunk city? They're all cyberpunk cities. Shanghai is a cyberpunk city, for sure. Like Shanghai is basically a cyberpunk city as well. But the famous cyberpunk cities were probably Shenzhen and Chongqing as well. But like definitely more Shenzhen, I would say, right? But Shanghai itself is very cyberpunk too. And here I'll show you. So. We get in. We got the Bilibili team out here. They are waiting for us. The Bilibili team was like waiting for us when we arrived in Shanghai. And these are some photos from the Forbidden City. But look at this.
Afraid of heights. Oh my God. Oh!
God damn, bro. Shanghai is popping.
This was so crazy, brother. This was so crazy. Just seeing this, I'm telling you, chat, it just hits different. Okay, Shanghai, like, I haven't even seen the whole city yet. This is all I got to peep so far, and it is crazy. Okay, it is crazy. It is crazy. It looks not real. It just looks surreal. Anyway, yeah, but the place that we were at.
Birthday to you.
So we celebrated Austin's birthday last night, and the thing is, that room that we were in is like a very special room. It's like where, like, that seat that Austin was sitting at, presidents have sat in. Like Bill Clinton and numerous other presidents have sat in. I'm gonna be honest, Shenzhen kind of boring, not gonna lie, but the parks are always nice in China anywhere you go. Well, Shenzhen is fun because like we get to see all the industrial like tech places. Shenzhen, from what I understand, is like the San Francisco. He's 24. What? That's a joke. He's not 24. Okay, I am joking. He's 37. He turned 37. Get it together, chatters. Hong Kong would be so fun for you all. More Americanized Shanghai, similar to Osaka. Yeah, I've never been to Osaka, but yeah, I think Hong Kong is dope too, but we're not gonna get to see I don't know how much we're gonna see Hong Kong in its entirety. But aren't you 37? No, I'm 57. Did you know that the CPC is founded in Shanghai? I did not know that. Actually, I did not know that at all. Do we get blessed with Christian today? Yes, you get blessed with Christian today, and Jake and Bake is also here as well. So, is he your secret gay little bro? I don't know when you're serious. Yes, not my secret gay little bro. My Crooked Con panel that people were demanding to see has been released as well. So there's that. Yeah, we got a lot. Go to the site of the First National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party. It's a nice area of Shanghai, and it's a great museum. Yeah. Oh, we were gonna do that, but unfortunately, we can't stream it. They said we can't stream it. So we're not doing that anymore. There's like a VR Red experience or something, but like, we were gonna do something with the, but hold on. Let me find the thing that I was gonna blast here. So yeah, let's blast off. Let's get it twisted. There's a lot going on. We obviously got the Trump Epstein connection. I'm gonna be doing the regular ass news coverage. And then today is going to be a little bit different than the previous IRL streams. And the reason why it's going to be different is because new Congress member has been sworn in. Epstein petition has the votes. Hell yeah. Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see what's going on. This could be like, this could be a fucking implosion, you know? This could straight up be this could be a pretty significant development. Hopefully. It's so funny. By the way, speaking of Shanghai, what is this new Steam hardware? What the fuck is this? Why are you linking this to me? Well, I don't understand. New Coscord? Why? What's different today? Oh. Your Chinese fans are sad the stream ends so early for them. Ugh, I thought there would be a live stream all afternoon. I really enjoy watching his live streams. The whole order and takeout thing might have just been for the sake of the show. Later, someone even gave him a pack of baby diapers, which is purely a fun or prank. The business class seat is so luxurious. The first time I've seen one like this. The ones I've sat in before didn't have railings. Yeah, I'm gonna do more Bilibili live streams in the afternoons for my Chinese Hasanabi heads. Sorry to the American Hasanabi heads. I've moved on. Okay? I have moved on. I'm Chinese now. What the fuck? I almost got blasted with a Twitter reply that I didn't even open. Blamobot told me in White Chinese earlier. Moving on to. Wait, hold on. Yeah, we're abandoned. Where was I? What was I talking about? Do you think JD is worse than Trump as a president? Who knows? It's pretty hard to be worse than Trump, but could be. Oh, so what's different today? What's different today about the live streams is it's going to be more free flowing. Like we'll just do city exploration with Jake rather than anything else. Like rather than having like a pre-designated thing that we're going to do, because like half the team is going to do like a photo shoot thing that they have to get like makeup done for and stuff like that. So we're just going to be doing like wandering. Brother, will you be showing the China interview you are in? Yeah, when it comes out. There's only a clip of it so far. Yeah, China Day 4. I'm in Shanghai. New Epstein-Trump connection. Fallout from government shutdown continues. Trump loves Chinese students. Century of humiliation. City exploration. Later. Get in now. How was the KFC? Oh, dude, the KFC that we had was incredible. KFC that I had was incredible. The emails aren't new. They had already been released in 2024. No, but it's like the part that I'm talking about is like Jeffrey Epstein saying that he's like Trump knows about the women and stuff like that. Was it dropped off by a robot? No, it was dropped off by a person. Vance is a fan and friend of Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel, so I don't trust him one bitch. This could be as bad, if not worse. I think JD Vance is more competent, but he's also less charismatic. And because of that reason, he can't win an election. But I think if he were to somehow get into a seat of power, also give me a blast off meme chatters. Okay, I'll use this one actually. This one is fire. This one is fire. I fear that if he were to actually get into power somehow, some way, he would be devastating. What is this? Hassan Lemon Bro Piker. I ordered 2XL. Why is this so tight? From seller. Oh my god. What the fuck? Yeah, I got this shit on Grailed. What is this? This one is great. How's Kaya doing? She's having an amazing time with Farley. What is this? Are you going to Disneyland for Cutie? No. What the fuck? That link is busted. Anyway. But is Farley having an amazing time with Kaya? So far, yes. Straight up. You seem so much more relaxed in China. Yeah, because I am more relaxed in China. Use Let's VPN is one of the best to use here. That's the one I've been using. It was this. What is this? That's cool. Listen, we're not pulling these images up, okay, anytime soon. Okay? I love them. I love the Maoist posters. But, you know, we've already made the mistake one time, okay? I'm not trying to cause an international incident. I was talking to the team about that actually, and I think like well, in Beijing, in Tiananmen Square especially, like obviously people are very careful, very attentive, right? Because it's like important ceremony, things of that nature. But even like the USSR shirt that I have, the USSR jersey that I have, it's not, no, it's not disrespectful. No, you don't understand. The problem is because most of the experiences that Chinese people have had with like white people has been like there's the like they just assume that every white person is like unironically being negative or being sarcastic or making fun of China or communism. They don't think they don't think that we're like they don't think that we're actually sincere. They think it's just like agitators that are mocking China, which I can't even fault them for thinking that, because like most people, if you, because a lot of Chinese people go and they study in the West, right? They go to colleges in America, they go to college in the UK, they go to college in the EU, and like they hear the attitude, the overwhelming negativity from every single person that they encounter. And in many instances, at least like with the Chinese people I've spoken to, both even before coming to China and since, they just kind of keep quiet about China in general. There are a lot of Russian tourists who are understanding and they are white. That's not true. Yes, you are right about that. But we are American. And so it's a little different. But basically like the way people perceive it is like is never like a sincere appreciation, but instead like outright mockery. And the reason for that is because of like the personal experiences that Chinese people have had in the West. and also the internet, like what they. That was a brief. That was a brief and abrupt. That was a brief and abrupt clip. You know, I don't know what happened, but show the secret memes. No, there are. Yeah, I feel like these Fs are my fault. Every time I get in here, it happens. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're in a different hotel, so I don't know how reliable and consistent the internet is. You know what I mean? Hassan, will you work on not using like so much when you speak? I think, in comparison to people in my generation, I use like very, very selectively. I don't even say like that much. Do I? I mean, I do throw it in there every now and then, but it's not that much. That is such a backseat speaker. That is such a boomer take, by the way. That is such a boomer take. Oh, what are you, a valley girl? Saying like over and over again. I think I use words. The words that I excessively spam would be anyways. I say that a lot. It's not a thing I've never noticed at all. You do not do that much at all. So weird. My dad said shit like that. I know. Last stream was 392 times. There is no way you went in. You do realize that you could be saying like not as a sentence modifier, for the record. And instead, not as a sentence modifier, but instead like, you know, just I used it as a sentence modifier just then. But instead as a way to say that you enjoy something. You say more than like, yeah. The word like is actually very important in the English language. Anyway, who talks shit about it doesn't know what they're talking about. You also use the word we are not gaming today a lot as well. That's true. Those are the scariest words in the English language for the Hasanabi heads. We are not gaming today. Five of the scariest words in the English language. How has your trip been so far? It has been spectacular. It is above and beyond my expectations. I am having a phenomenal time. Obviously, the only issue is that I'm on for so long. Your Steam Deck slander yesterday was blasphemous. Yeah, well, I haven't had anything that I've been really invested in playing. That's part of the reason why I don't have like a interest in the Steam Deck. God damn. God damn. Anyways. Is it 2 weeks or 1 month? I thought it was 1 month trip, but you said 2 weeks last stream. No, it's 2 weeks. It's not 1 month. Even though China is so massive and we could be there for a month. Have you experienced any restrictions on the travels in China, or is that mostly just propaganda? What? No, we're foreigners. What do you mean restrictions on the travels? That's not. We're American. That's not a thing for tourists. I'm sure there are places that you can't really go to, but I don't know. We're never gonna find out. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to go over there. That's where we hide the Chinese state secrets. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Like a lot of people straight up, a lot of people will straight up be like, "Oh, this is like the Democratic People's Republic of Korea." It's not. That's crazy. You can't go in this house that's white. Yeah, the White House. Did you see the new Valve Steam console headset and controller? I have not. Oh, this was also a fun thing I saw. White House, federal statistical system may have been permanently damaged. White House, October jobs report likely never released. We are at the precipice of something very interesting, in my opinion. I think things are getting increasingly weirder and weirder and weirder in the United States of America. Oh, the jobs machine that calculates how poor our performance has been mysteriously vanished. This is unironically what America used to say in the Cold War about the USSR. Except we are actually doing it to ourselves. I am sorry, but this is what a crazy coincidence that my dog ate my homework last night. I actually did the homework, and honestly, teacher, if you were to grade this homework, I probably would have gotten an A+, okay? A+ homework, believe me, okay? I wrote it down. It was beautiful. You've never seen homework like this before. This was the greatest work from home situation from the standpoint of work. And yet the dog ate it. Believe me, the dog, very beautiful dog, ate the homework, and now I no longer can show you what the homework looks like. Oh, very bad, very bad. He's a bad dog. Believe me, very bad dog. Will get punished. This database has been damaged. Ate it like a dog. It is quite remarkable. It is homework, kind of an old-fashioned term. Yeah, like groceries. Groceries and homework. Old-fashioned term. Very old-fashioned. Yeah. Also, yeah, the 2-for-1 special is the White House can't release the Epstein files, nor the reason the president received an emergency MRI, nor October's jobs reports because the economy is in the shitter. Excuse me. There is an answer for all of this. Okay? The White House can't release the Epstein files because the Epstein files machine broke. The White House can't explain why the president received an emergency MRI because that delivery mechanism also broke. And last but not least, the October jobs report can't be released because that machine also broke. It's just a very normal set of coincidences. It's just a coincidence. You need to stop leaning into it, okay? The Democrats must have broke the machine when they shut down the government, okay? It's just, you know what it is? You know what it is, honestly? Honestly, it's because the jobs report is too good and they would be jealous. It's because China would get jealous, and we don't want to do that because, you know, we just got into a detente, a stalemate with China on the trade war stuff, and we don't want to make them jealous. Right? Because if they were to look at how beautiful and robust and hot from the standpoint of heat, hot, 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 our jobs were, they would get jealous. They would say, what are you doing? You are winning so good, sir. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me anyway. Hot from the standpoint of heat. So that's the reason why we won't release it, because we're having a banger. We're having a banger year, an incredible time. It's unbelievable. You've never seen anything like it. Did they nerf lying? No. Lying has not been nerfed and never will be nerfed. As long as Trump remains in office, lying is an incredibly, incredibly important tool in their tool belt that they will continue spamming. Okay? If anything, they buffed it. Yeah, they were like, lying is not strong enough. We must buff. Even though it is OP, it must be more OP. Anyway, this is the last time I'm gonna spam this link. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're gonna get started. We're gonna talk about the jobs report. How's the food at the hodl? Snacks? I haven't had any of the food at the hodl yet. Bringing back this Ben Norton tweet. U.S. companies announced the most job cuts for any October in more than 2 decades. Bloomberg reports 153,000 jobs were lost, the most since 2003. If it weren't for the AI bubble, the U.S. would be in deep recession. 80% of Americans already live in areas in recession. This is true, by the way. And it's something that Scott Bessent also openly admitted, I think on Bloomberg. So, yeah, things are not looking too good. I'll be honest. Things are not looking too great in the United States of America. Sam was given an explanation on Lemon Bro today, and he was genuinely confused. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, we're going to get to all this stuff. Do not worry. Hold on. Let's start there. There were some more memes here. Yeah, the Li Jingjing CGTN interview is going to be coming out soon. And I think some people are very excited about it, and some people are not so excited about it. Some people are very upset about it. But here's a 2-minute clip from the interview that we conducted. Let's take a look now.
I also wanted to show my audience and the Western world in general that there are a lot of rumors about China. There's a lot of misunderstandings and also just outright lies, and that it's just another normal country, just like every other country is.
This is Hassan Piker, an American online streamer, influencer, and a political commentator who wields significant influence over the young demographic in the US. He's known for his daily streams featuring political commentary and media analysis, and has amassed a combined 4.5 million followers on Twitch and YouTube. In his streams, he often discusses China's development with his viewers. Now, he has finally taken his first trip to China.
I know Beijing's your first stop in your whole travel plan in China. It's probably just been 2 days for you to arrive China. How's your experience so far?
It's been amazing. I haven't slept at all, but I'm just I'm carrying myself because I'm so excited. It's been a remarkable experience thus far. But I was always very excited to come to China, so this has been a dream come true for me.
What do you want to experience the most, or what do you want to try the most?
The food, I want to see all the big tier 1 cities, but most importantly, I am super stoked that I'm going to get on a high-speed train tomorrow to go to Shanghai, because I also want high-speed rail in America.
Why? Why are you looking forward to visit China?
Well, part of it is because I talk about China quite a bit as far as like lessons to learn and what America could adopt and emulate, and seeing it in real time, I think is a lot different. I also wanted to show my audience and the Western world in general that there are a lot of rumors about China. There's a lot of misunderstandings and also just outright lies, and that it's just another normal country, just like every other country is. I know that, but one, experiencing it for myself is good, and seeing it for myself is good. And then two, showing it to other people as well, I think will be a good opportunity.
It wasn't a loop. They just showed the beginning. Yeah. Come back. What do you mean? I was listening. Plus, I'm also in the video. So I'm familiar that the video ended. Yeah, but Hasanabi doesn't need to give ammunition to his haters this freely, though. Wait, what do you mean? I don't like. This is a thing that I don't understand. Where people would just be like, "Oh, why would you do an interview like this? Why wouldn't I?" It's not like I'm saying anything different than I say on this broadcast. You know, I've done nothing differently. It's no matter what happens, people will find a way to spin it regardless, right? My haters are going crazy mode. They have lost their dang minds, but that's not really new. I mean, that's just how they've always operated. They're making stuff up. They're clipping stuff out of context entirely to even when we're not talking about China, like yesterday, March and I were talking briefly about the DNC and how like there was some tension in the air, and then someone walked into my hotel room, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy," and they clipped that to make it seem like it happened in China, as like someone walked into my room and put the fear of God in me or something. Yeah, that's it. They do that. They do that all the time. It's just an insane thing to do. You do not appear as enthusiastic as where you were on the New York Times, which is not as reputable as CGTN. I am keeping my eye on you. That's funny. Yeah, this is it. This is the video I'm talking about. It's such a crazy thing because it happened on camera.
Hello?
I can't even see the other clip, but his camera op here is speaking about something that happened at their hotel in Chicago at the DNC in 2024. The reason you cut the clip this way is because right before this, they discussed, oh yeah, breaking down the stream setup like at the DNC, and that memory came up. What is going on?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I was doing the $10 service. I left my ID there.
Oh, okay.
No,
Holy shit.
You scared us.
You can come in. It's fine. Bro, every day all the slop tubers are yelling about something in regards to you. I know. I'm public enemy number one. I'm the biggest threat to America. Drew Pislow is documenting your vacation like one of your fan channels. I know. He's trying to farm it so hard. They do this every time you go on a trip to try and bring down the mood and make the trip about you addressing drama. No, I don't think that's the design. They're just trying to farm stuff. I'm in China. Of course they're going to try to farm antagonistic content to the best of their ability. Because you have to remember, are you whitewashing China? Yes, I'm whitewashing China by saying it's a normal country where 1.4 billion people where 1.4 billion people live. It's crazy. Anyway, yes, this is the incident I was referring to in this clip. No one has just walked into our hotel rooms here. I feel infinitely safer in China versus the USA in regards to risk of bodily harm. Lamau, I feel like that's obvious. And of course, people didn't understand that. People didn't understand what Marsh was talking about, which is that there aren't guns in China. Just like there aren't guns or there aren't like mass weapons readily available in most countries outside of the United States of America, and therefore it is obviously much safer to do IRLs and things of that nature in places like this. You can't just like walk up to the Chinese Walmart and purchase an arsenal of weapons. And when that threat isn't there, You feel a lot safer in general. What's really interesting is I think a lot of conservative people look to that and they assume, oh, it's because they have like very strong protections and strong police or whatever. And sure, that exists as well. But a big part of the reason is because they just don't, like other countries that have competent governments don't have guns. You feel me? Or even if they do have guns, there is a lot more, there's a lot stricter controls around it. That's it. I wonder who it is that keeps complaining about losing money while traveling. I don't know what this clip is about, what they're responding to, by the way. Upload the full version now. Like and share this so the uploader knows. The curator is bar. USA, the curator is bar. Looking forward to the full version. Viewing China with a normal mindset while focusing on one's own development is the right path for all countries to bring a better life to their people. Oh, Austin? Hassan's face is too hard-edged. How come even straight men are somewhat attracted to him? This guy's objective and polite. Upvote, support this internet celebrity. China tourism, support people-to-people exchanges. Normal police in China don't carry guns. Only certain trained specialized teams have guns. That's, for the record, that is usually the norm in other countries as well. I know that sounds crazy if you're an American where you're like, what do you mean? All cops don't have an arsenal of weapons on them at their disposal at any given moment? But yeah, that's normal. Most beat cops in most countries do not have an arsenal of weapons on them at any given moment. And most human beings in general that are civilians also do not have an arsenal of weapons on them at any moment. America is the exception, not the rule. Okay? Most cops do not, yes, as this chatter correctly pointed out, most cops do not walk around like Batman, okay? They're like, oh, look at my tool belt. I got 8 different grenades, okay? I got 14 different types of pepper spray for different occasions. Tasers, zip ties, AR-15, shotgun, drone that can deploy munitions on you. Bro, the American police use Reaper drones now. An MQ-9 Reaper drone. Like, think about that. Think about how insane that is. First, they used it in Yemen. Now they use it on Portland, Oregon. You know? California, Los Angeles. Yeah, cops be like, I got a weapon for every minority. What is this? They are losing relevance and spiraling out of control with more and more insane shit. Most normal people care less and less, view you more positively, or simply don't care at all, and don't see you as the worst person on the planet as they do. Your haters believe you are the most evil person on the planet, so as more and more people view you positively or just don't care, they spiral into more and more insane shit, just like how Israel defenders act, and just like they are falling off. Yeah, I just don't understand why you choose to live life that way, but oh well, what are you going to do?
Someone also just told me that Hassan Piker's in China. And they call him Lemon Bro?
Yeah, apparently because he was jealous of I Show Speed, a streamer's China trip a few months ago, or maybe it was last year, I can't remember. And his sort of reaction of jealousy went viral in China.
And but why is that Lemon Bro?
Because I think like lemon, it's like you're sour. It's like you're sour because of jealousy.
Oh, that's funny.
So he's like a meme over there now.
Did China send him on the trip?
No, I don't think so. I think he went on a trip with a few other streamers, it looks like.
Oh, all right. Someone also just told me that Hassan Piker's in China.
Did he say did China send him on the trip? No. Yeah, I wish. But to be fair, I think the Chinese government is in many ways still very old school. So my style of commentary, and even I think the things that I say sarcastically that don't even translate sometimes well to an American audience would probably not be perceived very well by the Chinese government, right? So there's just no, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, the Communist Party of China is the ultimate like leftism means no jokes. Is the exchange rate reasonable? Overall cost of the trip manageable besides the flight? No, the trip is insanely expensive. Okay, it is. We are spending a lot of money, straight up. Even if like a lot of the stuff that you can purchase, like you can do a much cheaper China trip than the way we're doing it. We are rolling everywhere with a car. We got security. We got tour guides everywhere we go. China is very affordable. Otherwise, we're not doing that. Yeah, top hotels, rides everywhere. I mean, yeah, look, this is beautiful scenery. How much was the Adidas jacket? That's all I need from China. I don't know. Is it expensive compared to doing the same thing in other countries? No, it's cheaper. No, it's much cheaper. Things cost much less in China. Here, we're in Shanghai, okay? Probably one of the most expensive housing markets in China, okay? Shanghai is one of the most expensive housing markets in China. It's very high demand. A lot of Westerners live here. A lot of commerce takes place here. A lot of businesses here, okay? And in Shanghai, I asked our tour guide last night. Not even one of the most. Okay, thank you. Exactly. He said the average rent for 100 square feet apartment is somewhat sizable, right? I think by Chinese standards. The average square meter. 100 square meter. I apologize. I forget. I'm not in the land of freedom no more. I can't be using freedom units. Anyway. Okay. What the F is a meter? Anyway, 100 square meter apartamento in Shanghai. In Shanghai, which is the most expensive real estate market, is around $2,600. Like, imagine New York City. Or San Francisco. It's just not. It's not even. And that's like expensive. That's an expensive apartment, right? So it's very expensive in comparison to the rest of China. Depending on from tier 1 to tier 4, you can go to like a tier 2 city, a tier 3 city, and your entire year's rent would be $1,000, for the record. I'm not saying it's not affordable, but comparing without a PPP adjustment is apples to oranges. Yes, obviously, it's the wages are obviously much lower in China in comparison to America as well. Except with the PPP adjustment, Shanghai is impossible to afford for the average Chinese person. Having said that, the affordability in China is far better than America. So, I mean, that is clear, right? I think we all know that, right? If anything, the reason why people keep talking about PPP is purchasing power parity, for those of you who don't know. But one of the things that people constantly talk about in China is going to collapse, the economy is going to collapse, is because things are too affordable. Yeah, China has deflation. Prices are going down, but the wages are not. That's ideal for people that make wages without debt. If you notice, like, if you read any Western analyst about like what is the new problem in China, and they find something every other week, the problem that they say exists in China is that wages are fine, like they're relatively flat, they've grown, whereas things are too affordable. I know it sounds crazy, but they say that it's bad for growth because it's bad for growth because price increases don't take place in China. And therefore, there's too much purchasing power, and people actually take on, instead of taking on debt, they unironically hold too much money. They save too much and don't spend enough. Here is a video on this exact phenomena. While the rest of the world battles inflation, China is facing consumer prices that are just too low.
China's economy is facing a new threat. While most of the world battles inflation, China is grappling with consumer prices that are just too low. And it could be worse than the official numbers.
It just sounds it sounds so crazy. And perhaps it's one of the greatest indications that economists are ops. Because from the perspective of the average person, if money is fake and it's just like a way to circulate and a way to stimulate the economy, okay, you look at this and you're like, what's the problem then? They could just like tweak the dials, right? The government could just like tweak the dials and make sure that they can avoid certain shortfalls. And China has been able to do that over and over again, which is precisely the reason why every other week there's another article being like, China is going to, at the collapse, the collapse of China is imminent. The collapse of China is imminent. And they're just like, don't collapse. And then people just move on to the next thing. And this is the next thing, right? But it is this assessment in and of itself is a capitalist one, and one that unfortunately is stunted. You have these horse blinders on, where you think in this capitalist hegemonic way, where you think, well, this doesn't make sense from a capitalist perspective. Like, if this happened in a capitalist country that has a decentralized structure, then it would just fail. It would be an abject failure. And yeah, I understand that. I get it. Except that's just not how China operates.
China's official consumer inflation data offers limited detail, and it's not entirely clear how it's tracked. Bloomberg tracks 67 everyday items and found that prices are falling in 51 of them. And the pain is spreading. A brutal price war is breaking out across China's entire economy. If one company starts cutting prices...
Yes, money is only about resource distribution is correct. Exactly. And if your goal is to get the resources in the hands of as many people as possible, then these kinds of things are not a problem. Do you understand?
Their competitors have no choice but to follow. The result? Falling prices, collapsing profits, and no one wins. That phenomenon is called involution, but essentially it's about the fundamental imbalance between supply and demand.
There's too much supply, which obviously lowers prices. There's more supply because China is a robust industry. China has a robust industrial base, and they produce too many things. And when you produce too many things, the price of things goes down because there's no scarcity. If you outproduce the demand, then prices are going to go down. Okay? That's what they're talking about. It's just like the prices are too good for the average Chinese. Like, you're not a capital owner. You're not a capitalist. You're not a capital owner. You're just a wage laborer, right? And if you're just a wage laborer, from your perspective, you're like, okay, things are just more affordable. Things are just cheaper. I don't care if if there's this like imminent fear of collapse. I don't think you understand economics. You can ask my previous employer, the Lehman Brothers. Yeah. My steak is too juicy. My lobster too buttery. It's bad. It's bad. We must put an end to it. It's too good, bro. You wouldn't like it. Hey, there's a term for it. It's called involution. What if the economy collapses because things are too affordable for the working poor? This is a bad thing. Okay?
This is a competition problem. It completely crushes corporate earnings and slams workers' paychecks. Last year, 25% of Chinese listed companies made a loss. That's the highest percentage this century. And in 2024, a third of companies cut jobs. This shows China is in a deep deflationary spiral. If consumers stop spending, businesses stop investing, the economy slows down, and debt piles up. Beijing is trying to hit the brakes. In July, President Xi Jinping and his top lieutenants ordered a crackdown on excessive consumption. But with the property slump deepening and consumers too nervous to spend,
Bro, you don't understand. It's stupid to buy food for yourself today. If tomorrow the food is going to be cheaper, yeah. It's just like economists, I feel like, despite being human beings, economists oftentimes operate as though they are not in their analysis. And it's interesting because the entire economy is still geared around people. And people are never going to be rational actors anyway. Like, they're not robots. So I don't understand what this analysis is supposed to do, especially if you have a different vision or a different mechanism, a different method of governance. These sorts of issues might come up, but they are easier to solve with central planning.
experts think the government's fix won't even...
Yeah. Involution is mostly relevant in free market economies where state does not actively stimulate demand with non-profitable state contracts and regulate sectors with price controls. That's the issue. They're still operating under this faulty assessment of well, China is a capitalist country, or whenever they want to fearmonger about China, they'll say it's communist. But whenever they want to talk about like the Chinese economy, they're like, well, it's a capitalist country. It's a capitalist country. It's like, well, they kind of wear, the way I describe it to Americans is kind of like they wear capitalism like a sleeve, right? Instead of previous methods of central planning, like previous formations of centralized planning in a command economy, the Chinese central planning revolves around controlling flows of capital. There is still obviously a lot of intervention and a lot of moving people into a certain direction, right? Moving sectors or focusing on different sectors when there is need for it, need and planning that takes place far before the economy moves in that direction. But this is just how the system works. It's not an accident that you can purchase like a fairly reliable electric vehicle in China for the cost of an expensive NVIDIA a GPU, you know? Like, it's crazy. That didn't happen out of nowhere. That happened because the government was like, we want to focus. We want to electrify our entire grid. We want to focus on we're the number one, we are the monopoly when it comes to the global monopoly when it comes to, you know, solar panels and renewable energies. And we want to make sure that our entire grid is less reliant on fossil fuels in general, and instead reliant on renewable energies. And therefore, they let 1,000 flowers bloom in terms of EV manufacturing for the last decade. And the results are that they have this incredible manufacturing base for electric vehicles. Obviously, they are far too competitive in their pricing for European markets, and in an effort not to destroy their own domestic manufacturing sectors, the European markets try to limit the amount of Chinese EVs that can enter their marketplaces, and America just outright bans it, as you guys know. But this is what's going on.
Move the needle. Our tracking suggests prices in China are set to fall for the third year in a row in 2025. This is the world's second largest economy. The longer prices stay low, the greater the risk that growth will stall for years, even decades.
Here's another one from The Economist on the same topic a couple days ago. I can't watch this. This is a TikTok clip. Send me something else. Yeah. It feels like their solution to this is a single national market that will standardize rules and regulation to break down regional barriers has moved up on Beijing's agenda. Recent reforms focus on clearer property rights, easier flows of labor and capital, and improved judicial oversight of local law or local enforcement. The new private economy promotion law helps level the playing field for public and private firms while central authorities tighten oversight. The 15th five-year plan will reveal the next steps. You're actually wrong. It's better for the government to provide incentives like the EV rebate instead of increased supply. Oh, man. Isn't that funny? Yeah, no, that's how it's supposed to work. You're right. Oh, yeah. White people don't like the Dems with Jessica Tarkoff, Hassan Piker, Tim Miller, and Simone Sanders. 9 hours ago, it got released. Gotta love all the white people constantly defending the racism Zoran had to face in his campaign as if it wasn't completely obvious to any brown person, Muslim or not, that was all hysterical fear-mongering. Holy shit, this was brutal. Further exhibits that liberals will stop at nothing to undermine the leftists or truly working-class issues. White people don't like the Dems. Brought to you by Walmart. Notice how uncomfortable everyone gets when Hassan talks about basic lefty policies. Jessica looks surprised when people start clapping. Have to admit, as someone who voted for Democrats, I'm starting to side with the leftists. Moderates, I'm now realizing, aren't the adults in the room. They think they are. They're your grandma giving anachronistic financial and life advice. It seems like compromise and moderation only brings forth watered-down policy and decisions that hurt the party's credibility. I chanted, this is what democracy looks like at No Kings. But between the Electoral College and the heavily gerrymandered rural propaganda GOP-based, not to mention the capitulating Democratic Party leadership, I'm starting to realize this is what failed democracy looks like. All my life, Democrats have almost always won the popular vote, but between the Brooks Brothers riot and the insurrection, they're somehow powerless. Either they're controlled opposition or incompetent. Either way, we need a complete tear down. Oh my God. This is what I mean, brother. This is why I go on the Pod Johns, okay? This is why I will always go on the Pod Johns. This is why I will always go on these sorts of outlets and these sorts of places. You know what sucks about being a leftist, which means that you're usually right just too early, is that once people come to terms with this, there are a whole bunch of other things that I'm also advocating for that they're still not as open-minded on. Like, the example is China. For like, I'm literally sitting inside of the example, right? You will see this happen. A lot of younger generations are not going to be as aggressive towards China, and we're already seeing that. I Show Speed has done a wonderful thing. But while a lot of people are finally starting to agree with this, like, Democrats need to be more aggressive, Democrats need to actually fight back, Democrats need to be centering the working class in their politics, and be unafraid to fight back, to push back, and then their base will reward them. And that the establishment Democrats are actually lying to you when they say moderation is key. Moderation is actually the way to win. They're finally coming to terms with that conclusion, but they will still probably be very resistant to someone like myself saying, like, well, we could learn some lessons from the way China governs itself, right? Like, especially when it comes to building a robust industrial base or the heavy-handed regulatory mechanisms that exist, the checks and the controls that exist that move not in the direction of hyper profits or super profits, but more so in the direction of improving people's material conditions. Like when I say stuff like that, they go, whoa, okay, I was with you with the Democratic Party thing, but I'm not with you on this side. And I just hate that I have to wait 5 years for people to come to that conclusion as well. You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. That's how it always has been. I hate to be repetitive, but this is why I think we can do your approach while also building up a third party, because there are some impermissible things that a third party can accomplish. Sure, I mean, build it. Yeah, I'm a British guy, but this video really helped me understand why some leftists really want a third party. The panel, except Hassan, seem to want to maintain status quo and not address real causes of inequality whilst ignoring economic populism. The part that blew my mind is how they acted and Hassan spoke blasphemy for talking about Israel, shaking my head. I was appalled when the lady in glasses said the last 10 minutes was not fun after Hassan talked about Israel. It was ridiculous. It's not exactly fun for Palestinians being killed in genocide. How can you be a party for the left and common people in support and be in support of Israel? Are we supposed to follow suit the heartless Republicans to get it? Yeah. Hassan made good point after good point after good point of this panel, and I can't even link some of his points. And I can even link some of his points, and almost every time he gets countered or disagreed with by the others on the panel. And then even at the end, they talked about Big Tent politics, but how they aren't socialists, they aren't communists, and democratic socialists aren't really socialists, which implies that they are okay because they aren't actually socialists. The panel is pretending that Hassan and other leftists are welcome. They will celebrate Mamdani's win because he's under the Democrat banner. But when it really comes down to it, they don't want leftists in their tent. They would rather have Republicans and former Republicans and Liz Cheney and a Fox News attitude towards politics than just fucking advocate for populist policy. Yeah, yes. It seems like they'd have an aneurysm every time Hassan brought up Israel. I don't remember. I mean, I gave you guys I told you, like, it felt strange every time I brought up Israel because, like, everyone would go, oh, don't do that, you know? It did feel like that. And I guess, like, the audience read it in the same way as well. But yeah, this is my method. You might disagree with it. You might think it's foolish. You might think it's stupid. You might think it's unproductive. But this is my method, okay? You must go to where the masses are. You cannot organize and mobilize with an imagined proletariat that already has the revolutionary spirit in their hearts. You must organize where the masses are. You must shape your message. You do not have to lie and hide that you are a socialist if you are one, or a communist if you are one, okay, or a Marxist if you are one. Having said that, you must structure, you must never compromise on your values, but you must always structure your message in a way that is receptive, okay? Because if you believe that Americans are heavily propagandized, and that they, if they were not so heavily propagandized against concepts such as socialism, due to the success of the Red Scare, right? If you feel like Americans, like the average American, would be much more understanding of socialist policies and principles if they were to recognize their own class consciousness, then you have to speak to them not as enemies, not as ideological enemies that are attacking you because they have a vision or they have a better standing in liberal capitalist democracy, and that's the reason why they're fucking pushing for it. But instead, because they've just been heavily propagandized. That's just what it is. And the same principle goes for even MAGA. We must not be enemies, but friends. Yes, all men are brothers. If I'm at an orgy, how do I tailor my communist message there? You listen. Whatever your abilities are in terms of your output in an orgy is what you put out. And you take what you need, okay? You take what you need and you give what you can give. Sharing is caring. And this principle is applied everywhere in your life. Okay? The proper response was no loads refused. I mean, some are come hungry, and they say to all around them that I can yield those loads, I produce those loads for me, I will never refuse them. Okay? But for others, they might actually have to refuse some loads after a while. And that is always going to be the main driving force behind socialist principles in an orgy. Some can take on all loads. Others can take on some loads. Right? The point is, you do what you can and you take what you need.
Is he throwing up lemons on screen?
This was crazy. Every time another train would pass, there would be like this crazy noise. And I don't know how Haas did this.
Lemons on screen.
He would literally, as the bullet train was passing by, he would whiz a lemon bro.
Wow. Damn, the delay is pretty crazy. Wow. Oh, I just saw. That's crazy.
Mi limonchito lindo. Lemon Bro is pretty funny. It's good. Yeah, I can't believe he did that. That is so wild. What is this? Oh, we got the Crooked Con. We got the playlist. We got Epstein emails. We talked about the Chinese methods. Oh, you can't insist that China has to lower its emissions and then later complain that China isn't putting cheap EVs all over the world. If you are worried about climate, China's green tech exports is good news. It's the COP president, Andre Correa do Lago. A flood of green tech from China is upending global climate politics. A flood of green tech from China is upending global climate politics. At this year's climate summit, the United States is out and Europe is struggling, but emerging countries are embracing renewable energy thanks to a glut of cheap equipment. This is like a very interesting take. It's a very interesting perspective because it's honest reporting because it's meeting. Remember, mainstream outlets obviously at the end of the day still have a duty to inform their audiences. And if your goal is to inform your audience, you have to every now and then say the truth about foreign adversaries and what they're doing right. And the New York Times is one of my favorite outlets to read on Chinese stuff because they will be like, China has yielded an explosive growth of renewable energy all around the world, but at what cost? Like, they'll be like, China cured cancer, but at what cost? Like they would just straight up be like, yeah, this is good, but also have we considered that this actually makes China look too good and we don't like that? Or what about our super profits? Oftentimes that is the counter. Oftentimes that is the argument. Okay? Isn't that more like the Wall Street Journal? I mean, there is not a lot of daylight between New York Times and Wall Street Journal when it comes to covering China. Also, speaking of China, one of the things I wanted to show you is Shanghai has been the special economic zone in China far before China developed to the degree that it did, right? So it was always one of the more developed areas. That's why there's this area called Bund, which is the colonial sector, basically, where like all of the Western style buildings are. Okay. And what's really remarkable about it is, here it is. Since the sun is in Shanghai now, here's a picture of Pudong, Shanghai in 1990 versus 2010. Pudong was once a ghost city. Now it's the financial center of Shanghai with 5+ million inhabitants. Okay? And that's since 2010. It's even grown it's exploded in size since then. So this side of the river, this right here, was already developed far before anywhere else was, right? In China. It was already a developed part. It was like an entry point, special economic zone, entry point into the Chinese markets by Western capitalists, right? There was nothing here. And now, and I'm on this side right now. I'm literally right here somewhere. Like I'm here somewhere, but I'm looking at, oh wait, no, I'm not. No, I'm actually over here. Sorry. I literally am like right there, I think, on the other side of the river. I'm on the new side. Okay. I was here on the old side last night. I'm on the new side somewhere around here. Okay. And this is the story of China in general. Like, no matter where you go, this is how it is. Don't leak your location. The fuck? I mean, it's pretty safe. What was the time difference there? I think China only has one time zone. It's just no matter where you go. I'm pretty sure it's just Beijing time. But it's 7 a.m. here. Whereas while it is 7 a.m. here, it is 3 p.m. in Los Angeles. Playlist updated. Sky News got a recent video about the Epstein emails. Okay, thank you. Yeah, dog, I just got a fucking Google notification that you were detained in China. That did not happen. Why do... Oh, guys, I don't understand this. I'm an American citizen. I live in the United States of America. Why the fuck would the media lie about such an easily observable thing? I don't get it. Do they think I don't have the capacity to tell people that that's not the case? Like, what is going on? What the hell is going on? Yeah, I'm in a Chinese prison right now. This is what it is, I guess. Or it's a pre-recorded stream. It doesn't make any sense, dude. But it's kind of funny because a big part of my job is media criticism and trying to instill media literacy in my audience. And what's been interesting is I've covered the way that Western press covers China in general, but I never, perhaps I was foolish for this, but I never imagined that I would be at the center of a story like that. You know? Would you be able to compare it to the city you're in? To any other city outside of China you've been to? I mean, Chinese cities are very different in many ways. But if we're being real, if we're being really real, okay, I would say Ashley tweeted, it's real. It is a real Google push notification. We got to chill. This is wild. Hassan Piker was detained during a China live stream. What the fuck? What is happening? Western communist sympathizer gets a taste of real communism as a Western journalist wet dream. Yeah, but what do you mean? But it didn't happen. What is happening? Okay, sure. I understand that. Like that's like a very cool for the China beat, for all of the reporters reporting from Taipei, that this is a fantastic opportunity for them, right? To like write this article to be like, oh yeah, Hassan gets fucking destroyed by his own vision for a better tomorrow. Like, yeah, guess what, idiot? But that's not a thing that if it happened, then sure, right? Write about it all day. But that's not what took place. As someone who has been detained by the American government, what took place was not that. I like how no one reached out to you for comment. Yeah, because if they did, I'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm literally streaming right now. What is happening? I'm streaming. I'm doing IRLs out and about. Like, they're gonna be like, the Chinese government has actually limited his movement in free movement in the country. If I've learned anything from this stream, it's that truth and reality don't matter at all. I know, but it's such a stupid thing to lie about because it's just like observable reality. Even the thing that people are talking about with like, oh, I don't really feel any sense of patriotism for America. What's really funny about that? What's really funny about that is like, I was just saying, like, I don't fully understand why, like, I don't understand the significance of the flag raising ceremony because there are a lot of patriotic Chinese people. And I was saying, like, if there was a similar thing that took place in America, right? Like, this is not something I would participate in. And I was just saying that, like, I don't have this this sense of patriotism in me. It's not for me. But I found it very interesting to observe this experience for many others. And I try to comprehend like what motivates people to feel this way, what motivates people to have a sense of pride. And it's really interesting that they just like clipped it to be like, Hassan waving the Chinese flag says he doesn't have any patriotism for America. And it's like, I feel like even that backfires on a lot of people because they're like, I've seen a lot of people comment on that being like, yeah, I don't feel any patriotism towards America either. Have you seen our government? Like, the point I was making wasn't that. Guttural social credit, tofu drag, debt trap, diplomacy. We are very much used to the Western snake tongue. Now you're experiencing it personally. What a great thing to share. I mean, what are you talking about, Top G? This has been my fucking political career. You are pretty patriotic towards the Ottoman Empire? No, I'm not. That's a meme. How do you reach out to someone who's detained though? True. That's true. You can't reach out to me because I was obviously detained and arrested and in prison. They did technically restrict your movement. You are not allowed on military bases. True. Also true. Hassan, when did you say you don't have patriotism? You were detained and were never there to say it? Can't believe China wasted their money on this frivolous spectacle when they could have just been trafficking guns to Sunni radicals in Syria, bombing fishermen in Venezuela, or shooting down missionary planes in Peru. Exactly. Much better way to use your funds, man. I don't understand what this drone shit looks like. All right. Speaking of not feeling a sense of patriotism in my heart, I'm going to show you two things. This is a 1 minute and 25 second Shanghai evolution from 1978 to 2019, a time lapse. Okay. This is part of the reason why Chinese people do feel patriotic. Okay. Here. Let's take a look at this. And then I'll show you why, even though patriotism isn't for me necessarily, this makes it extra hard to feel any kind of patriotic about the United States of America.